Today we're opening a box from TheCubicle. I have an idea of what all is in here, and I'm pretty excited to get into it. So let's get started right away, as soon as I can open this dang package. So as I fuss with this, I'm pretty sure this is one that has a couple cubes, or a cube and a lube that came for free as long as you hit an order amount. And so I went a little wild, which you will see in a minute. So I've got a couple bags. I really love their embroidered bags especially, and then I need a bag that can fit a Pyraminx, so had to get something that's a little bigger, that way it can actually get in there and get out. And then I have an Angstrom and a Mystic bag, which the quality on these is just fantastic. It's a great material and the embroidery is really awesome. They look just spectacular. Next up, we've got V1 of the X-Man design bell. It was on sale around this time. Here are some extra magnets that come with it. I think those are just for the tips. We will mess with that later, I think. It's got a little solve guide, a little info about, yeah, so those magnets are for the tips to strengthen those. And I think you can change the magnet strength inside, but I think it's basically like moving around plastic bits that affect how strong the magnet pull is to each other, instead of like a system where you can turn it or something without having to disassemble it. So I will get into that later, but I probably plan on changing those out to a stronger magnet set because I do like those stronger magnets quite a bit. Just double checking. The tops do come off, but I figured that out later. And here's a comparison with the Gone, which is my main currently. A lot of the shades are pretty similar. The red is a little bit darker on the bell, and the green is a little bit lighter. So I like the Gone green a little bit better. It's a little hard to see the difference there, but I think you can kind of get it across. And then first turns on this, yeah, I think that I probably will change to the stronger magnets. It feels a little bit floppy, or just a little less secure, and it's easy to flip past one of the magnet stop points. I think that I will probably get into that breakdown later. Next up is the YJ Blind Cube. I've seen some of these online, and as an accessibility advocate in my day job, I was very excited to be able to get one of these. It has different shapes on each side so that you can feel it out. The white has like a little square, green is a star, yellow is kind of a dotted circle, there's a heart on the blue that's very polygonal, red is just a circle bubble shape, and orange is blank. It's kind of weird to me that orange is blank. I would have assumed that either white or yellow probably would be, since that's the side you usually start on the bottom. So maybe blind solvers start with orange? I don't know. I don't know a whole lot about blind solve methods, but the cube turns pretty nicely for a non-magnetic cube. It's easy to turn. Doesn't look like there's much in the way of changing things out. And I'm trying to get in to see if you can tension this at all, but the caps are a little hard to get out, and the cube's a little tight, so I'm not really able to get one of the edge pieces out super easily either. So again, I might do this as part of a separate video to look at either magnetizing it or lubing it better. But for now, let's move on to the next cube. If I can dig around and find it. Actually, yeah, this will be a perfect chance. So I got two lubes. One is a small thing of DNM37, and the other is a Mystic, which came with this order since I did over, I think, $30. And yeah, goes really nicely with the Mystic bag. And I think everybody probably needs some DNM37 with them. Next up is the other gift that came with it. So I got the Mystic for going over 30, and I think the RS3M 2020 for going over 60, I think. I did kind of splurge on this, but it makes sense when you see that I also got a 7x7. So the bigger the puzzle, the more money you end up spending. And I did do the Cubicle Pro Shop setup on this. I really am pretty new to larger puzzles. I can do 4x4, and I know a little bit of 5x5, and I really enjoy 5x5 especially. I think the odd number puzzles fit my brain a little better than the evens, at least with how parity works. And so I figured go ahead and get a 7x7 and have them set it up for me so that it's just ready to go out of the box. That being said, I do not know how to solve it, so I'll probably be very careful with that here. And here's the accessories box, all the usual stuff. I like that they do mark that they have springs that are stronger and weaker than what's in the box, so the plus and minus, and of course the little stand that comes free. If you're not going to include a bag, at least include a stand, I guess. You're paying quite a bit, so I would prefer a bag over the stand so that there's some way to store it without it collecting dust and getting all gummy. But yeah, I like these shades. The YJ MGC line has great shades, just awesome colors, very easy to tell apart. It's consistent across all their sizes, so it's easy to kind of get through them. And just on first turns here, it feels great, just like the other MGCs that I have. And of course, it's awesome that I'm not the one having to do all the tensioning and setup on this, so thank you to the Cubicle Pro Shop. Instead of wasting all of your time with this, now that I've messed it up, I'm just going to set this aside so that it looks solved in camera. And I will come back to fix this later. I think I just messed up the 3x3 side. I'm just going to hide that for now. Look at that. Looks perfectly fine. And now let's get into the gifts that I got with this order. And hi, Marley. He's saying hello. Want some pets? Gonna inspect kind of what we're doing here. So first let's look at the Mystic. This is an aloe-based natural lubricant instead of a silicone. And then next up we have the MoYu RS3M 2020. I've heard a lot about this cube. It's kind of everyone's go-to this year. It's what everyone recommends for people, and it's kind of a flagship killer at a super low price point. I think normally this is about $8.99, and you've got your cube, you've got a really nice little pre-assembled stand, and then if I can get the accessories box out, I guess maybe I opened the box the wrong way, but then it comes with some accessories as well. We can look at those. I think, yeah, so one is a way to tension it, and then there's a replacement tension thing, there's the cards, there's instructions on how to use it, and if it comes with the extra little stand like the Scube did, how to display it. So let's get into the cube. This is a big one. Based on reviews, I think that it'll be pretty awesome, but I expect that it'll be a little loose and the magnets will be a little light for my liking. And on first turns here, that is more or less what I'm feeling. I like that it's a pretty nice quiet sound. It's not loud and clacky. It feels smooth, but maybe a little bit papery. Yeah, I kind of inadvertently scrambled it a little bit, so let's fix this up. Yeah, I think that I will definitely be lubing this with some of the Mystic to try that out on this cube to add some control and to gum it up a little bit and maybe quiet it even a little further. I don't really think it needs to be sped up at all. I tend to like my cubes a little tight and a little bit slow, especially since I'm not speed solving by any super means. I would rather have that control and know that I'm going where I need to versus having it overshoot. As you flip, you can see that the magnets aren't really stopping it, so you either have to turn a little bit perfectly or do something to slow it down. So you've got the screw for the middle tension, and then you have the little tool here to tighten the other thing. It looks like there's like 5 settings, I think, on this one. Oh, and then I immediately lose it. Yeah, I like that this cube has a very simple system, and if we take this apart, I'm not sure if the magnet kits are ones that you swap out, or if they are ones that you just add on top of them. So it looks like they have little slots for all of the magnets to sit inside of, and I'm assuming that you probably just add magnets to it versus change those out. But again, I'll probably do a setup and some solves video for this later. And you can see it does deform just a little bit, so for me that's probably not great. For others, maybe that fits your style perfectly, and that's why this cube has been such a huge hit. But for me, I think I'm going to have to do a little bit of setup and probably add some magnets to it. But yeah, that is the opening for today. Thanks to TheCubicle for getting everything here quickly. And I think that I will be very happy with all of these cubes. Be on the lookout for some future videos where I do some setup, some solves, and maybe a little bit of review. Thanks for tuning in. Remember to like, subscribe, and hit that bell button to be notified of future videos. Thanks, happy cubing, and see you next time. Bye!